CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Simcoe County reacts as President Donald Trump drops the hammer on tariffs over the weekend. Thank you for joining us. From a deal to no deal, as talks broke down over the weekend that would have prevented a 50% tariff increase on select Canadian goods. Let's get right to CTV's Luke Simard. Joins us live tonight with more on how this will likely be felt locally. Luke, what can you tell us?
Well, Sarah, from maple syrup, lobsters to hockey sticks, Canadian goods will now be more expensive as the country and our region deal with the latest tariffs imposed by American President Donald Trump. Residents in our region have had enough of Donald Trump's tariffs.
Yes, I'm not too happy with the 50% tariffs. So, because it's going to be affecting us, a lot of people losing their jobs, so I don't think it's a good idea.
Wow, tariffs being implemented. I think it's probably a little crazy, but, you know, the man in the red hat will do what he does, right? It makes absolutely no sense.
With local businesses once again taking the brunt of the blow. Does it impact you at all?
Yes, because we do painting and a lot of raw material is coming from the States, and that's why it's affecting us too, unfortunately.
Tariff experts continue to urge businesses to get compliant or face severe consequences.
You're a supplier in Simcoe County, you're shipping to the U.S., you have it delivering with a carrier, you indicate on your paperwork that it's going through Buffalo and then going down. If there's an accident at Buffalo Bridge now, the carrier may change and say, okay, I'm going through Fort Erie. On your documentation, you've said it's going through Buffalo. In the past, it would have just been waved away, no issue. Now it's a $10,000 fine.
Straining supplier relationships to their breaking points.
We're seeing long-term relationships, vendor, suppliers being really put under the knife in the sense of, is it even worth supplying? Or from the U.S. side saying, is it even worth supplying north because of all the uncertainty?
The tariffs attacking businesses that directly supply Canadian goods.
We aren't talking about energy or potash or fertilizer. We're talking about, I'd say, luxury items in those aspects. But to anyone that owns a business in those areas, unfortunately, this is not a luxury item to them. It's life. And so that's where these tariffs are really affecting a lot of businesses and their livelihoods.
The Canadian government now with plans on imposing tariffs of their own to take effect on September 8th, resulting in a lose-lose situation for businesses and consumers.
Seeing the Canadian raw materials go to the U.S., be tariffed at 50%, they are further processed, produced into an item, then shipped back north of the border, and now after September 8th, those will be tariffed at a 50%. So for the consumer, they're just paying on both sides. So the tariffs are just inflating the costs like crazy.
And as tariff threats linger, it appears President Trump might not be finished, threatening more tariffs on the auto sector before the end of the year, which would be another major blow to an industry in our region. Sarah?
All right, that's our Luke Simard reporting live tonight. Thank you, Luke. Now, that threat was part of more verbal escalations today between the president, prime minister, and notably our province's premier. Here's CTV's senior political correspondent, Michael Couture, with the latest.
At the White House, President Donald Trump said nothing about the collapsed trade negotiations, instead doing his talking on social media. Repeating a claim that the U.S. doesn't need Canada, Trump also threatened to increase tariffs on the auto and steel sectors to 50% starting January 1st.
There is a mutually beneficial deal possible here.
While trying to remain hopeful, Prime Minister Mark Carney pushed back on any suggestion that Canada can't survive without the Americans.
An attitude at the negotiation table that Canada is a subsidiary of the United States. The Canadian industry is going to be disadvantaged relative to American industry, that we're going to set up terms so that over time Canadian industry is going to face constant headwinds. That's not something we're going to accept.
While Carney chose his words carefully, Ontario Premier Doug Ford went after Trump on radio.
Well, he can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. We're going to go at him full steam.
That comment may have teed off Trump, who responded online with another post, calling Carney governor and Ford a flunky for the prime minister.
You know, your own people, President Trump, don't even like you. and they're going to speak loud and clear when it comes to the midterms. And if I was allowed to, I'd be down there door knocking.
Ford also floated the idea of export taxes on products the U.S. needs, like energy, potash, and critical minerals. It's something premiers and the Prime Minister have been hesitant to consider, but in French, Carney said all options are on the table. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling for the text of the failed deal to be made public.
Canadians need to know what it is that we are rejecting. My view is that we need to fight for tariff-free trade.
The Prime Minister has threatened dollar-for-dollar counter tariffs on the U.S. starting the day after Labor Day. And he said the federal and provincial finance ministers are meeting today to go over options. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
And here at home, we now know who will be on the ballot in each of the 24 municipal elections in both Simcoe and Muskoka. For more on that, let's go to CTV's Jack Morris. He joins us live with the details. Jack, good evening.
Good evening, Sarah. I hope you're doing well. Well, what we know now is that the candidates list, those were finalized at 2 o'clock on Friday. They're now working on the voters list. If you want to register or make sure you are registered, you got to get in touch with your municipality. Here are some races to watch. Starting in Barrie, incumbent Alex Nuttall is facing a trio of competitors. The most prominent of those is Tanya Seri, a supportive housing organization director and former candidate for both Barrie Council and the federal Liberals. Hospitality professional Russell Ty and candidate Kay Sayer round out that list. The hot issue in this contest, Nuttall's ongoing homelessness response. In Orillia, former Mayor Steve Clark unexpectedly stepped back into the spotlight. He served 2 terms in 2014 and 2018, not running again last time around. In the wake of that news, Ward 4 councillor J.L. Durnford withdrew her name from the mayoral race, throwing her support behind Clark and announcing her intent to run once again in Ward 4. That leaves local entrepreneur Whitney Joy Smith as the only competition for the 2-term mayor. Now, not every contest is competitive. 3 candidates for mayor in our region are set to be acclaimed, the only ones to put their names forward in their respective municipalities. Incumbent mayors Peter Kelly of Muskoka Lakes, Jamie McGarvey of Perry Sound, and Tay Township's Ted Walker are all unopposed. If you live there, that doesn't mean you've got nothing to do on election day. There are councillor contests in all 3 of those communities. So, Sarah, that is our high-level look starting off. If you aren't registered to vote, you can do that the day of the election where you show up to vote. Now, we're polling. Our polling day is going to be, when we go to the polls, that is going to be the 26th of October. That's the last Monday of October. Sarah. All
right, appreciate that. That's our Jack Morris reporting live tonight. Let's get into our first look at weather. Oh boy, Case, it was a wicked weekend. I made my way to Rogers Stadium for the BTS concert, you know, the Korean K-pop band. It poured rain for the entire 6 hours. Everybody was hunkered down inside their ponchos, and needless to say, I was enjoying myself. You can hear it in my throat.
A lot of fun, though. I know you had fun in the rain. That's what you have to have. You have to have fun in the rain when it's warm out. It's not that warm out, and it's not that much fun. Some people have made that abundantly clear to me today. The rain's coming down right now, and we could even get a thunderstorm. Let's continue on right now for a first look at the forecast, brought to you by the GravelDrivewayGuy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. 18 degrees out here, Sarah. The winds are out of the northwest, 24 kilometers an hour. The gust as high as about 40 a little later on. Shall we have a look at the temperature outside your door? Shall we? 16 degrees in Mount Forest. 19 in Perry Sound, 21 in Toronto, looks like the hot spot. And there's a whole bunch of 19s in Alliston, Orillia, the Sunshine City, and 19 also in Gravenhurst. This is a look at the spotty shower, and it's moving cyclical. It really is. We think we're done with it, and it kind of reverberates back, and this will give us a better indication as to the size of it and the cyclical nature of this system that seems to just keep dumping more rain on us. Have there been some sunny moments? A couple of sunny moments, not many. I'm sorry about your concert, but yeah, we're just going to have to sit tight, and ponchos, raincoats, umbrellas. The umbrella, Sarah. The umbrella. Where all roads lead back to that umbrella. But coming up, I'll let you know when you can toss that umbrella aside. For a while, anyway.
It's all about a positive approach. Me and 50,000 other people.
That's right.
Put our ponchos on and supported the group. Thanks, Case. The fire marshal is investigating a large fire. This was in Gravenhurst on Saturday night. Emergency crews were called to Bethune Drive North between Winewood Avenue East and Industrial Drive at around 7 o'clock. The town's fire chief says something inside the office and garage type building caught on fire. Crews from both Bracebridge and Muskoka Lakes responded. No injuries were reported. At this point, not considered suspicious. Highway 89 was brought to a halt after a major crash that sent 7 people to hospital. OPP responded to the 3-car pileup in Dufferin County on Sunday night just before 6. The highway was closed in both directions between County Road 12 and 4th Line. Only minor injuries were reported and the road was closed for hours while crews worked on the scene. A motorcyclist is badly injured after driving off the road and hitting a tree in Dufferin County. OPP say the 2 motorcyclists were out for a drive together on River Road between Mill Street and Mulmer-Melancton Town Line around 5:40 on Saturday evening. The driver who crashed was brought to a Toronto area trauma center and the road was closed for several hours. Now, anyone who witnessed the accident or has dash cam footage is asked to contact Dufferin OPP. The OPP is also investigating a 3rd Dufferin County crash from the weekend. This one on Airport Road near County Road 21 in Mulmer Township. This was early Sunday morning. Police say a sedan and a minivan crashed into each other, sending both drivers to hospital. The sedan driver was eventually airlifted to a Toronto hospital with serious injuries. The sentencing hearing is underway for a man convicted of manslaughter in the death of his best friend. After changing his story several times, Gabriel DeCecco said he was about to be sexually assaulted by the victim and shot him before dumping his body. Here's CTV's Mike Arcelides with the details of the case.
Your mom's car has f***ing bullets in it, man.
After a jury found Gabriel DeCecco guilty of manslaughter instead of murder in the shooting of his best friend 2.5 years ago, the Crown is asking Justice Vanessa Christie to rule on the facts of the case before sentencing. It's been 3 months since the Barrie jury acquitted DeCecco of murder in the killing of 24-year-old William Schernhammer in the Alliston area. The defense argued DeCecco shot Schernhammer after being provoked by his friend, whom he testified tried to force himself on him that night in his car. DeCecco testified he shot Schernhammer out of fear he'd be sexually assaulted. He said Schernhammer had previously violated him in 2017, but police failed to investigate the allegations. The Crown said DeCecco shot and killed his friend and initially told police he knew nothing about his friend's disappearance.
Who hurt William? You do know.
Later changing his story, telling police a mysterious masked man emerged from a field that night and shot Schernhammer. DeCecco testified Schernhammer sold drugs and said he had a shotgun in his car because he was afraid of the drug dealers. After several police interviews, DeCecco eventually admitted he shot Schernhammer several times before dumping the body on the side of the road, then tossing his friend's cell phone on the night of January 12, 2024. Schernhammer's remains were discovered 9 days later when DeCecco showed police where he disposed of his friend's body. The jury heard DeCecco had been driving his mother's car, which was found to have several bullet holes through the front passenger door, blood on the passenger seat, along with a cigarette. The Crown asked the judge to consider the evidence in the case, with no indication how or why the jury reached its verdict in acquitting DeCecco of first and second-degree murder and convicting him of manslaughter. The Crown calling DeCecco's testimony evasive, incredible, and flippant. His lawyer, Sam Goldstein, said he could not offer submissions after the Crown unexpectedly sought to argue the findings of the jury, as the court awaits lockdown records from the jail where DeCecco has been housed since his arrest. Justice Christie is scheduled to deliver her ruling in early September. Mike Arcelides, CTV News, Barrie.
Another one of our provincial highways was closed on Sunday after a crash in Huntsville. OPP say Highway 60 was shut down in both directions at Haynes Road after 2 cars collided, sending 3 to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It happened just after 4 p.m. and the road reopened later Sunday night. A Collingwood man has been arrested after police say he drunkenly climbed the town's water tower. Collingwood and Blue Mountains OPP received multiple calls when it happened on Saturday afternoon. Officers and firefighters responded and got him down safely. The 36-year-old is charged with 5 counts, including mischief, public intoxication, and entering prohibited premises. A man from Caledon is facing serious charges in a child exploitation investigation. OPP raided a home in Inglewood on August 12th. Police say several devices were seized and a 53-year-old from Inglewood was arrested. He faces 2 counts of possessing child sexual abuse and exploitation material. He was released following a bail hearing and is scheduled for an Orangeville court date in September. The OPP reminding parents to protect their children from the dangers of online sexual exploitation. Police have shared details about a possible suspect involved in a stabbing in Midland that left a man in critical condition. It happened early Friday morning near Hugel Avenue and Elizabeth Street. Now, Southern Georgian Bay OPP say it's looking to speak to a person of interest who was seen leaving the area towards King Street. They're described as an Indigenous or Hispanic man measuring 6'1", about 240 pounds, wearing light colored clothing. Anyone with information is asked to come forward. Today marks 1 year since a pedestrian was hit and killed by a driver in New Tecumseth, and investigators have renewed their appeal for information. At around 1:30 a.m. on August 24th of 2025, officers were called to 13th line near Agila Tecumseth Town Line for reports of a pedestrian who was hit by a car. A 23-year-old man was pronounced dead on the scene. Police are still looking for the driver of the vehicle that fled the scene. It's described as a 2020 to 2025 Ford Escape model. A right rear air deflector was also found near the crash site. The suspect driver is urged to come forward, as OPP say they may not realize the extent of what happened. Police are also continuing their push for more information from anyone who may have witnessed the crash or has footage. So Simcoe police are warning about a spike in promotion scam calls. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. The service says fraudsters are pretending to be from telecommunications companies and offer fake promotions for discounted phones, tablets, and other electronics. The callers then arrange for devices to be delivered, but then claim that there's a problem, say it has to be returned. Victims then notice a series of unauthorized charges on their accounts. Police are reminding the public to always be aware of unsolicited calls and never give out personal or banking information to the unexpected caller. If you think that you may have been targeted, you should report it immediately. Staff at Huntsville Town Hall had a scare today after a fire started in one of the washrooms. The alarms went off inside the building at around 11 a.m. and maintenance staff, they found thick black smoke coming from the public washroom, while firefighters found a small fire but used an extinguisher to put it out. The town saying only the washroom was damaged, but Town Hall was closed for the rest of the day. No injuries were reported and the cause is being investigated. Fresh off an Eastern Conference title and an appearance in the OHL final, the Barrie Colts are back on the ice today for the start of training camp.
The big thing this year will be, how do we make sure we are getting 1% better every single day? You know, whatever our opponents are doing, how do we do more? How do we get ourselves to a higher level? How do we best prepare ourselves to be successful for tomorrow?
The Colts are expected to look significantly different this year, with several veterans planning to move on to their NHL clubs. That includes Kayshawn Aitchison, Cole Bourdouin, and Emile Hemming. The team also made a few trades in the offseason, which will likely give younger players a chance to step up and fill some important roles.
I think we're going to be a young group. I think we're going to bring a lot of energy, and I think the way we're going to be coached, it's going to be hard to play against us.
You know, hockey's back. A lot of new faces this year, so it's exciting, and you know, it's a bit much almost, but it's good, and you know, meeting a bunch of new guys.
The Colts will hold an intra-squad scrimmage. They had one today, there's another tomorrow, and the annual blue and white game will go Thursday night at the Sadlon Arena, a chance for fans to get their first glimpse at this year's roster. Still to come, celebrating the golden age of automotive history, where everything pre-1940 was found on display in Simcoe County. Plus, from independent folk artists to a busy electronic dance music stage, another great year for this Cookstown Festival. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Every summer, our community comes together, where rhythm resonates throughout the city and creativity fills the air. Local musicians share their stories in song, and thousands gather for free in the heart of the city. presented by Paul Sadlin Motors, the Troubadour Festival, where arts, culture, and our community come alive in downtown Barrie.
Thanks for staying with us. First up, the Simcoe County Museum was packed with antique cars this weekend for the Canadian Festival of Old Cars.
We've got over 80 participants and over 100 cars here today. There's been a ton of people here taking a look at all of these cars. They're pre-war cars. It's not just a static car show. These cars are driving around like you've seen. People are having rides on them. We've got Model A rides. We've got the car games.
1931 Model A Ford. There's no power steering, no radio, no air conditioning, and the transmission or the clutch is a double clutch. So you have to really work, and it's mechanical brakes, not hydraulic.
It's just something I've been into my whole life. My dad had antique cars. My grandfather had antique cars. It's just kind of bred into me.
Drivers had the chance to square off in a series of antique car games. There was also plenty of classical food, music, and fun for everyone. It was another successful edition of the Gussapalooza Music Festival this weekend in Cookstown, which ended with hundreds, much like me, braving the windy and rainy elements. This was on Sunday, though, and enjoyed a packed lineup of independent artists.
We have artists from all over North America, local artists from around the area as well. And it's an amazing thing. We seem to attract a lot of great talent. We have everything from soul to rock to hip hop to folk and country. There's something for everybody at this festival.
It's just the love, the vibes, the energy, like just everybody is so loving and such a beautiful, warm energy in this place.
There's just this peace and love vibe, which I'm all about, and there's no, sense of this artist is bigger than this artist. It's just everybody coming together for the sake of music.
Organizers say close to 3,000 came through the Georgian Bay Steam Show grounds to enjoy the lineup of nearly 60 talents. A pair of Innisfil moms hosted a back-to-school community swap on Sunday, offering donated school supplies for local families who are struggling with affordability. A variety of new and used supplies were collected at the Lions Hall, including backpacks, lunch bags, pens, pencils, and clothing, all to help those who might not be able to equip their kids with everything they need for the first day of school.
It gets expensive, clothes, backpacks, school supplies, that sort of stuff. So we're just trying to bridge the gap for those who might be unable to get everything that they need for their kids this school year.
It was just hearing a lot of stories from a lot of families about how they're struggling in so many ways, and if we can give back with just one or two things, and the amount that we've achieved today is just exceptional.
Backpacks, lunch bags, pencil crayons, water bottles.
I'm excited for the new year, and I love every new teacher I always get.
The two moms remind that it costs hundreds of dollars to send kids back to school. They hope to host the community swap once again next year. It was also a smoky and saucy weekend in Aurelia because Ribfest was in the city.
After all the years of my experience of 12 years, it's the rub, the love, and the seasoning that goes into every single rack and on the grill towards customers. It's a beautiful time, and the sauce too.
The Northern Heat Rib Series took over Tudhope Park, offering smoked and barbecue meats of all kinds, sweet and spicy sauces, and of course, tons of sides.
Here, you want to take a bite? No. You want to try?
Every week in May, we feed our families, but we're feeding your families. And the same thing that we would feed our families, we feed to your families. So my job is to make sure that every food that comes out of one of these trucks, I'm happy with. I would give to my mom, I would give to my sister, and that you leave with not only just food, but also memories and want to come back.
We got pulled pork, ribs, chicken, coleslaw, beans. Probably the best barbecue I've had in a while.
Now, the Northern Heat Rib Series returns next weekend, but for that, you'll have to drive to Windsor. And staying in the Sunshine City, hundreds of cyclists line the roads for the National Ride for Mental Health. It's a partnership with the Ontario Provincial Police to support Wounded Warriors Canada. The organization gives back the psychological health and safety of veterans, first responders, and their families. If you are looking to get caught up on everything that happened over the weekend, because there is more to see, that can be done on our website. As always, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or scan the QR code on the screen. Still to come, how an emergency animal response team ended up saving the lives of local foxes, which are now getting the necessary treatment. That's in just a few moments, but right now let's head outside. Case, are you staying dry?
No, I'm not. But the hot spot in Canada today, Lytton, BC, 30 degrees. When are we going to see 30 degrees? Are we going to see 30 degrees again? I'll have that answer for you coming up in just a moment. Let's not talk about the weather. Let's beetle on over to the weather watcher, and Zoe brings us the blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Well done. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hey, it's Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Sam Roberts at the Kitabawa.
So make sure you're listening weekdays from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by the town of Wasaga Beach Memories of Summer, running September 3rd to 5th.
We need to get you a smaller apron, my man. We are celebrating memories of summer, so please, I'm not saying that it's a culmination. There's still plenty more warm weather to come, as we heard from KC, but continue to share those moments. Picture this at ctv.ca. Case, did I speak too soon? You were saying when 30-degree temperatures return, right? Not if? When?
Oh, I'm sure we're to have some more 30-degree days, but maybe just, a little bit of a break from the 30-degree weather, which is nice, isn't it? You'd agree? Yes.
Sure.
There you go.
I mean, it can never be warm enough, but then I also embrace the winter because I like to snowboard. It's just getting from one season to the next.
Absolutely. It's all about transitions.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll let you take it away.
Embracing the transitions. Yes, let's talk about the weather and embracing transitions. A little cool. Yeah, a little wet. Yeah, a little. But for how long, everyone's asking. Well, let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the forecast and get to it. Here we go. Let's get busy with the forecast. Looks like 16 degrees right now. It's the coolest area on the map, and that would be in Mount Forest, Ontario. 21 in Toronto. Call it 18 degrees out in Owen Sound. 17 in Collingwood, and 19 degrees in Gravenhurst. Let's talk about the almanac, shall we? And this is the almanac right here, 18 and 12. Yeah, we're a ways from our normal, but 32 degrees back in 2021, record heat, and 2.8 degrees. Yes, it can be very cool at night. We've established that. That's going back quite a ways, too. 1951. Sunrise, sunset, grand total of 13 hours and 33 minutes of daylight. Sully, would you be so kind just to roll that? There we go. Rolling the forecast radar. And as we take a look at this system, which has had considerable amounts of rain. I've been trying to get specific totals, but I have not been able to get that from Environment Canada. We do know that somewhere in the area of 30 to 50 millimeters of rainfall, and in excess of that in some places over the weekend. This is southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe. Overnight temperatures 14 degrees. A few showers, check. And risk of a thunderstorm? Yes, there is a risk of a thunderstorm this evening. How about tomorrow, you say? Well, 21 and 22 degrees, mainly cloudy. Does that mean we'll see a smidget of sunshine? Perhaps a smidget of sunshine. And still a 30% chance of showers in the morning. The rest of the afternoon, pretty much cloudy for the most part. This is Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 14 and 15 degrees. A few showers this evening should not surprise. There is a risk of a thunderstorm as well. And 22, 23, 24 degrees. Risk of a shower tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen, except in Richmond Hill, where you'll just be cloudy for the better part of the day. Parrystown, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, 14 degrees, a few showers this evening. Risk of a thunderstorm throughout our entire region. And then 22 and 23 tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies is what we have to look forward to. There is a slight chance of a shower first thing tomorrow morning. But where, oh where, is the sunshine, you say? Well, that's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. Is there any sunshine to be found? Well, let's look at the 5-day extended forecast for Simcoe County. Wednesday, negatory, good buddy. There is no sunshine for Wednesday. 25 degrees, though. Yeah, that's lovely. Thursday, 40% chance of showers under cloudy skies. Oh, wow, Friday. Heading into the weekend, 30% chance of a shower, but sunshine, some sunshine. Saturday at this point, fair skies, 23. 5-day extended forecast, York Region, have a look. Wednesday, there it is, sun and cloud. Nice, embrace, 25 degrees. Looks like 25 again on Thursday, 40% chance of some shower activity. Friday, a smidget of sunshine, probably late day sunshine. Slight chance of a shower during the course of the day. 24 and 24 again on Saturday, and fair skies to look forward to. This is the 5-day extended forecast from Municipal, Bear Sound, Halliburton. And Wednesday, cloudy skies, 23, 22 on the Thursday, 40% chance of shower activity. Friday looks like 30% chance of shower activity. Late day sunshine, a high of 20 degrees. Look at the overnight, 9 degrees. And then Saturday arrives in 22 degrees, sun and cloud mix. That is your forecast, ladies and gentlemen. But before we go back to the newsroom, I want you to take a look at this country music contest.
CTV Barrie and Pure Country 106 want to send you to the biggest country shows of the year. This is your chance to win the ultimate big country ticket. A pair of tickets to 8 amazing concerts at Casino Rama Resort, including Dustin Lynch, Jordan Davis, Josh Ross, Lee Brice, and more could be yours. Don't miss your shot at this incredible country music experience. Enter on our contest page at ctvbarrie.ca for your chance to win. Must be 19 years of age or older.
And we do have more to bring you tonight on the 100 wildfires that continue to burn across northern Ontario. 63 are located in the northwestern region. According to the latest update from the province, 6 are not under control and 1 new fire has been confirmed as of last night. 42 fires are burning in the northeastern region. 1 is being held and 2 are under control, while the remaining fires are being observed. A skulk of foxes from our region are now on the mend after receiving treatment for a potentially fatal disease. According to Simcoe County Emergency Animal Response, these 6 animals are suffering from mange and were rescued from areas that included Barrie, Midhurst, and Collingwood. Mange is a skin disease caused by mites that burrow into the skin, causing inflammation, hair loss, and intense itching to the point of injury. SCEAR confirms the 6 foxes were picked up over the course of 10 days. They're now receiving necessary care. Still to come, the Unity flag is gaining momentum. Designed in Barrie but now flying up north. More on the story and the man behind the symbol that honors our veterans. But first, let's take a look at the RVH Auxiliary 50/50 Draw Tracker. Recapping our top stories, from maple syrup and lobsters to hockey sticks, Canadian goods will now cost more with the latest tariffs imposed by American President Donald Trump. The Canadian government now with plans on imposing tariffs of its own to take effect on September. A sentencing hearing is underway for Gabriel DeCecco. It's been 3 months since a Barrie jury acquitted DeCecco of murder and the killing of 24-year-old William Schernhammer in the Alliston area in 2024. Justice Christie is scheduled to deliver her ruling in early September. And we now know who will be on the ballot in each of the 24 municipal elections here in Simcoe County and Muskoka. The official candidate lists were finalized at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. The voters list is being put together now. If you want to register, you can contact your municipality. A Barrie veterans' creation of a national symbol for those who served our country is gaining traction up north. Today, retired Air Force Major Kent Smurden was up in Sudbury as his Canadian military veteran unity flag is now proudly flying. CTV's Madison Marriott has more.
A flag was designed by a veteran to represent all veterans.
I did some research and found that Canada does not have an officially nationally recognized symbol for all Canadians, Canada's military veterans. So I thought, well, why don't we have one? Why can't we have one? So I designed one.
It just seems so important that they have their own flag. And we hopped on it right away.
Smearden is from Barrie, where the first flag was raised, but Sudbury was quick to support his mission with the purchase of flags and a $500 donation.
Ultimately, who will benefit from this is Canadian veterans. So I'm sure Kent talked about the 460,000 Canadians that are registered as veterans as of the 2021 census. So we've got a lot of flags to move and a lot of pins to create, and that costs a lot of money.
Smearden says the flag sales will support giving a free pin to every Canadian veteran across the country.
For those service members who do not serve for 12 years, they don't get anything to wear on their person that says to the public at large that I serve the country. And so this lapel pin hopefully will fill that need.
What we'll be doing is purchasing another pole to put the Ontario flag up. So we'll have the Canadian flag, the Ontario flag, and the Veterans flag. So it'll be permanent, yes.
Smearden says he hopes to see the flag recognized nationally and by the federal government.
I told that to the Legion Branch 564 today, that I will, when I go back to Ottawa, will be pushing to have this flag raised on Parliament Hill where it can fly.
In the meantime, it will continue to fly here in the city. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
The price at the pumps is set to rise in the coming weeks when Ottawa reinstates the excise tax on gasoline, and there are growing calls for government intervention. The tax was suspended in April to combat high gas prices. It will add 10 cents a litre to the price of gas and 4 cents a litre to diesel when it comes back into effect on September 8th. The federal government has not said whether an extension of the gas tax break is being considered. In business news, voting on a new contract for WestJet flight attendants wrapped up this afternoon. Flight attendants have had a week to vote on whether to accept or reject the deal. The Canadian Union of Public Employees says the tentative agreement includes a wage hike of more than 18% over 3 years, as well as new compensation for work done on the ground. The deal came after lengthy negotiations, which included a single-day strike by roughly 4,400 cabin crew members during the August long weekend. Canada's big banks are expected to deliver another strong performance, reporting its third quarter earnings this week. Canada's major lenders have navigated tariffs, weak economic growth, and a sluggish recovery in the housing market. The resilience has driven their shares higher, leading to money managers and analysts watching closely for anything that could indicate volatility for shareholders. Big Canadian banks have seen stock prices rise sharply this year. Moving right into our markets on this Monday, the TSX was up 94 points, the Dow was up 140, and the Nasdaq was down 200 points. And commodities, oil was down $2, closing at $85 a barrel. Gold was up $17, finishing at $46.98 an ounce, and our dollar was down, ending the day at 72.24 cents U.S. Some sports news to share tonight. It was a struggle for our Barrie Bay Cats in the home and home series against the Brantford Red Sox this weekend.
That one is struck. Another hit as it's just out of the glove of Hernandez. One comes around, two comes around. Sign, seal, deliver it. Christian Kazemka is the best player in the CBL right now.
The Red Sox blew last night's game open with 7 runs in the 8th, defeating the Big Cats 9-5. The Sox also beat the team 12-8 on Saturday in Barrie. The Big Cats already have a playoff spot clinched with 2 games left on the regular season schedule. They will face the Cardinals in Hamilton on Friday. Now the Blue Jays remain in the thick of the wild card chase despite dropping the series to the New York Yankees over the weekend.
Fly ball deep towards right field, carrying and gone into the second deck.
The Jays fell to the Yankees 8-3 in the final game of the weekend series. The team now sits 1.5 games out of the final spot in the playoff spot in the American League. They are set to host the Kansas City Royals for a 3-game series that's starting tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the Jays will take on the Chicago Cubs in next season's Little League Classic. MLB made the announcement yesterday. The game will be played on August 19th of 2027 in Williamsport, Pennsylvania during the annual Little League World Series. The Atlanta Braves and Milwaukee Brewers played each other in the 2026 Little League Classic yesterday, with the Braves winning 4-2. Well, they have been nicknamed twin nurses, and that's exactly who they're helping. Coming up next here on CTV Barrie, how two young twins from Barrie are turning recovery into somewhat of a summer camp with the help of two very dedicated health professionals. Please do stay with us.
Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. Listen to Pure Country 106 on the free iHeartRadio app.
Time now to take a look at your Monday night primetime lineup. Back-to-back episodes of Suits at 8 and 9 p.m., Criminal Minds at 10, and CTV News Barrie at 11. A pair of twin girls from Barrie have had to spend most of their life in hospital, but their recent weeks at a Toronto rehab centre have been filled with laughter and fun thanks to playful antics by some of the staff members. Here's CTV's Carol Charles on how the Barrie twins have been cared for by who have become known as the Nurse Twins.
For most kids, summer means splash pads, camps, and plenty of time outside. But for 10-year-old twins Milena and Naya Soares, summer looks a little different.
What's wrong with this?
And it's also different for Holland Bloorview. They have never had twin sisters as inpatients at the facility, recovering, learning to walk, and at the same time sharing a room.
What color will that be?
And through it all, they found something pretty special. Two nurses who know how to make a hospital stay a whole lot more fun.
When we were bored, Josh grabbed some plastic cups and our squishies and he made it into a bowling game.
To brighten their lengthy hospital stay, the pair who started the same day work most of their shifts together, regularly dress up as twins. So much so, staff refer to them as the twin nurses. Same outfits, same look, and plenty of reasons to laugh. Today, it's all about cartwheels.
I don't know, she wants me to do 500 of them.
But behind all the fun is a lot of hard work. The sisters were born prematurely at just 30 weeks and have faced serious medical challenges since the beginning. Milena has spastic diplegic cerebral palsy. She's recovering from surgery to lengthen muscles and tendons and learning how to walk again. Naya has faced even more complex challenges, including heart conditions, scoliosis, and a limb difference. But now she's learning to walk with a new prosthetic foot. And for the first time in her life, she's spending time out of her wheelchair. For their mom, Stephanie Soares, seeing both girls work hard is something special.
Josh and Michael will take them for walks sometimes and kind of encourages them to use their new equipment and want to learn to walk. And that has assisted even me being able to get them wanting to do therapy beyond just the 1 hour a day that they have downstairs.
For Milena and Naya, the nurses have become more than caregivers.
Knowing that the kids here are giving their 110%, it just feels right to match that with your own 110% energy.
And they say it's all part of the job, making sure their young patients feel like kids, not just patients.
I play tag with them, or even I brought bubbles from home that I blow for them.
The girls will be discharged this week, but they describe their stay as summer camp at Holland Bloorview, a summer they will always remember. Carol Charles, CTV News.
Aren't medical professionals just fabulous, Case? And the resilience for the two young ladies, an inspiration on both sides.
Great story, and from Barrie, too. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well done, well done. Well done. Let's talk about the well done get up and go forecast for tomorrow morning. Sure, yeah, Mother Nature's done a good job, hasn't she? We're looking at certainly cloudy skies and a possibility of a few showers first thing tomorrow morning, and temperatures 15 and 14 degrees. That's the get up and go. Have yourself a fantastic evening. Sarah.
Thanks, Case. I've got your umbrella waiting right here for you. I'm Sarah Freemark. Thanks so much for starting your week with us here on CTV Barrie. Have a fabulous evening and stay dry out there.